Okay, hello boys and girls, this is Alex, once again, this time not doing a professional video but something more casual. I'm actually here right now in Wakayama. Wakayama is in Japan, more specifically south of Japan, like south of Osaka. So you know that blob that sticks out south of Osaka, it's called Wakayama, Wakayama province. And this is the main city of Wakayama province, also called Wakayama or Wakayama-shi, if you want to be particularly nitpicking about it. Now what am I doing here in Wakayama of all places? So as of now I'm actually doing an internship in Tokyo that's going on for 6 months. I'm 3 months in, and currently it's the New Year's holiday in Japan, and I decided to come here once again for a couple of days to visit my friends and to do some sightseeing, something that I didn't have the time to the last time I came here. ボーイの練習ちょっと待ってね。え、何? So, why is it Wakayama, and why, how is it that I have all these friends from Wakayama that I'm speaking about, and how did all of this happen to begin with? So in order to tell you that, I have to go back to 2018. So back then I actually finished my bachelor's degree, and in the summer holiday between the end of my bachelor's degree and the beginning of my master's degree, I had a 3-month summer holiday where I decided to go to Japan for 2 months to study Japanese because I was very interested in the country and the culture. And I picked Wakayama for 2 reasons in particular. The first one is that it's very, very cheap compared to Tokyo or other metropolitan areas of Japan, like Osaka, let's say. And then the second reason, and the more important reason in my point of view, is the fact that in the bigger cities, when you go to a language school, you're always surrounded by other English-speaking foreigners. No, nothing against other English-speaking foreigners, don't get me wrong here, but if you want to learn the language, you want to kind of pick a place where you have more opportunities to mingle with the local population. And this is precisely what I did in Wakayama for 2 months. Now that aside, I was also looking for PhD programs in Kyoto University and some universities in Tokyo. That didn't work out. But through a stroke of luck, I actually got an internship offer from a company in Tokyo. I'm not supposed to say which company it is, but people who know me personally will know what I'm talking about. So this is the second time that I'm here, and this time I'm here not for the language school but for work, and I'm in Tokyo, but I still came back to Wakayama because I really enjoy this place a lot, and I really enjoy and like the people who gave me an amazing time. And since I'm here, I would like to show you around and show you some footage of some places that I've visited. For example, Wakayama Castle. So Wakayama Castle is actually one of the main highlights of Wakayama city. It was constructed in the late 16th century by the Kishu Tokugawa family, if I remember correctly, and it was not open to the public until about 200 years later. It also got destroyed and rebuilt 2 times, and other than being a tourist attraction today, I saw that of parents with their kids visiting the castle, it's also a major venue for all sorts of events. In summer 2018, for example, a concert was held there. And as of early 2020, I was also able to witness a bird show where they had trained parrots and hawks, for example, like this. The city itself doesn't feel very big, but there are in fact 400,000 people living there, which is surprising if you take a walk at night or in the morning. It's in general very peaceful. So why not actually take a short walk to see how it's actually like? Alright, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about concerning Wakayama is the weather. Right, everyone talks about the weather, so I guess I kind of have to do that too. Now, we have to understand this, Japan, or Tokyo in particular, is on about the same latitude as southern Italy, or Sicily more specifically. So therefore, you kind of would expect the climate to be very warm. But surprisingly enough, during winter, it's actually getting quite cold here. So right now it's about 10 degrees Celsius during the day, but during the night it goes down to 0 and almost minus, so you have to wear a winter jacket. Conversely, during the summer, there's a car passing by. I'm just going to stop there for a moment. So conversely, during the summer, what you get is a very hot and humid climate. So I remember when I came here for the first time, I was in fact here during July and August, the hottest possible months that you can come here. And it was always like higher 20s, like degrees Celsius. I'm a European, so I'm using degrees Celsius here. So it's 29, 28 degrees Celsius, you know, very often above 30. And you have a lot of humidity, so whenever you're at home, you always kind of have to use your air conditioning, because otherwise it's going to be absolutely impossible to sleep. So the nicest period of time when you can visit Japan, or like southern Japan in particular, would be in spring. Spring being like March all the way up to May, and autumn. So autumn would be beginning of October to like end of November. That's when the temperature is actually the nicest, and when it's still warm, but it's not very hot and humid to such a degree that it's unbearable. And during the winter it kind of gets so cold that you can't really walk around in your t-shirts anymore. You kind of have to wear proper winter clothing. Right, well, that was me rambling about the weather. Let's go back to some more serious topics, or something that's more interesting, I guess. Yes, on that side note, I would like to return back to the bench at Wakayama Castle. So yeah, anyways, that was a very nice introduction to Japan. I certainly recommend you coming here. It's a very nice country, especially for visiting. Now when it comes to working, it's a bit trickier than that, obviously. I'm 3 months into my internship and there's 3 months left. So by the end of the internship I have two choices. The first choice is going back to Europe and starting my career there. You know, I'm still a recent graduate and I'm doing a graduate internship, so I'm still getting my foot into the door. Or the second option would be to find a job here in Japan or East Asia. Now, why do I say East Asia, you know, not just Japan? Because I happen to speak Chinese much better than Japanese, actually. So I speak Chinese fluently because I lived and worked in China already way back when, a couple of years. But you know, that's its own story. I want to go into that right now. What I'm thinking about is that for someone who speaks Chinese fluently, and for someone who is actually well on his way to attain a similar level of proficiency in Japanese, you know, it would make sense to actually stay in East Asia and try to build a career here, making use of both the language skills that I have and also making use of my profession, which is in IT. Now, whether I have to go back to Europe or whether I can actually stay here, only time will tell, but I would be fine with either option. And with that, I would like to call it a video, or to call it a day, and I shall see you folks in the next one.